Hi, Year 3, and welcome to your first comprehension session this week. So, with me, you're going to be doing a fiction text again, and the fiction text we will be looking at is Kitten Rescue by Lucy Daniels. Again, once again, these comprehension tasks and the question sheets have been sent to your parents with the task sheets. Okay, so you should have received them on Friday. Now, I'm going to start reading this text to you. While I'm reading this text to you, I would like you to think about these questions. I want you to think about, what did Mum suggest was the first thing that Amelia did? What did Mum say to try to make Amelia feel better? And why did Amelia try her best not to sound too gloomy? Okay, so I'm going to start reading it to you now. Kitten Rescue by Lucy Daniels. Amelia Hayward stared at the big pile of packing boxes in the corner of her new bedroom. "I don't know where to start," she said. "Just take it slowly," said her mum. She opened one of the boxes and took out a pile of Amelia's favorite animal books. "Here," she said, handing them to her. "Why don't you start with these?" Amelia took the books, but a sudden rush of homesickness came over her. She sat down on the bed with a sigh. Mum sat next to her, putting her arm round Amelia's shoulders. Her blue eyes, and same shade as Amelia's own, were warm. "It's all a bit strange, isn't it?" she said softly. "But don't worry, we're going to be very happy living here with Gran. I promise." "I know," said Amelia, doing her best not to sound too gloomy. "I'm fine, Mum, honest. I'll unpack the rest of my things, okay?" Her mum kissed the top of her head, then headed downstairs. Taking a deep breath, Amelia stacked the animal books neatly on the shelf above her bed. In her old house, there had been a bookshelf by the door. She didn't want to think about her old familiar bedroom with its polka dot wallpaper and glowing star stickers on the ceiling. But it was difficult. She liked some things about her new room: the seat built into the wall below the window, and the ceiling the sloping ceiling. But although she'd always loved coming here to visit Gran, it just wasn't home. Now, what did Mum suggest was the first thing that Amelia did? What did Mum suggest that Amelia could do? The first thing. Fantastic. Her mummy said to take it slowly. Her mummy said she doesn't have to worry about, you know, putting everything away. Just take it slowly and relax, okay? What did Mum say to try and make Amelia feel better? What do you think Mummy said to try and make Amelia feel better? Fantastic. So over here, Mummy said, "It's all a bit strange, isn't it? But don't worry, we're going to be very happy." So that is what Mummy said to make her feel better. Why did Amelia try her best not to sound too gloomy? Why did Amelia try her best not to sound too gloomy? Fantastic. So Amelia didn't want there to be a negative feeling. Amelia didn't want to sound gloomy, to maybe upset herself even more or people around her. She was trying not to sound too gloomy because it wasn't going to be the best thing. She had to try and accept the fact that they would probably be happy living here. Now, what we're going to do is, like always, we're going to go through these questions and answer them. Okay, so question number 1 says, "At the start of this extract, Amelia has just moved house. Explain how we know this using ideas from the text. You do not have to copy words." So, where is the evidence to show that Amelia has moved house at the beginning of this? Where have you seen the ideas? Fantastic. It could be the big pile of packing boxes in the corner. Yeah. Uh, so another thing is when Mummy said that you know, we'll be happy living here with Gran. So that shows that they moved. Okay, so now let's see what the answer would be. Okay, so I'm going to say there are a pile of boxes in the corner of her new bedroom. Now, if you've written something like that, let's check if it's correct. So fantastic. If you've written she is in her new bedroom, or there is still a pile of packing boxes in the room, all her things are still in boxes, then that is correct. Okay, so now let's go back and go to question number 2. Why did Amelia sit down on her bed with a sigh? Why do you think she sat down on her bed with a sigh? Okay, if you pause the screen now and try and work out the answer. Okay, so we knew she was a bit gloomy about moving into Gran's, but somewhere in this text, I'm going to find it. It says that Amelia took the books, but a sudden rush of homesickness came over her. She sat down on the bed with a sigh. Okay, so I am going to write here. She was homesick. So I'm going to write, she had a sudden rush of homesickness. Okay, now let's check if that's correct. Fantastic. So if you've written a sudden rush of homesickness came over her, then you are correct. Okay, now let's answer question number 3. So question number 3 says, look at the paragraph beginning, Mum sat next to her, which is this paragraph here. So is this paragraph here, okay? Find and copy one word that means the same as kind and friendly. So to get your 1 mark, you need to find and just copy one word, okay? That means the same as kind and friendly. So I am going to read this paragraph again. Mum sat next to her, putting her arm round Amelia's shoulders. Her blue eyes, the same shade as Amelia's own, were warm. Okay. It's all a bit strange, isn't it? She said softly. But don't worry, we're going to be very happy living here with Gran, I promise. If you pause the screen now and work out the answer, and then come back to the screen, and then we'll do it together. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to say that where it says her blue eyes, the same shade as Amelia's own were warm. So when something's warm, it means something's very nice and kind and friendly and very gentle towards you. Okay, now let's see if that is correct. So I'm going to write down the word was warm. Let's check it. Fantastic, that's correct. So if you got the word warm, then you get 1 mark and you are correct. Now let's go to question number 4. And it says, I'm fine, Mum, honest. What does this statement tell you about Amelia? Choose one. Does this statement tell you that she is just pretending to be sad? Or does it say she's trying to be brave? Or does it mean she's feeling sick and unwell? Or or she does not want to unpack? What do you think it means? So where she says, I'm fine, Mum, honest, what do you think it means? What do you think it means? Let's read that sentence. She said, I know, said Amelia, doing her best not to sound too gloomy. I'm fine, Mum, honest. I'll unpack the rest of my things, okay. I personally think it means she's trying to be brave. Okay, shall we check if that's correct? So I'm going to write down she's trying to be brave. Now let's check. Fantastic, so that is correct. Okay, because she doesn't want Mum to get upset and see her getting upset and about moving to Grant's. Now let's go to question number 5. And question number 5 says, write whether each thing was in Amelia's old or new room, or if it is in her old room or if it is in her new room. So a bookshelf above the bed. Okay, so now if we go down to the paragraph where they're talking about her old bedroom, it's her basically about the bedrooms. It says, her mum kissed the top of her head, then headed downstairs. Taking a deep breath, Amelia stacked the animal books neatly on top of the shelf above her bed. In her old house, there had been a bookshelf by the door. She didn't want to think about her old familiar bedroom with its polka dot wallpaper and glowing star stickers on the ceiling. But it was difficult. She liked some things about her new room. The seat built into the wall below the window and the sloping ceiling. But although she'd always loved coming here to visit Gran, it just wasn't enough. So now this question is worth 2 marks. Okay, so to answer it, I'm going to say that the bookshelf above the bed, so the bookshelf above the bed is in her new bedroom. Okay, a bookshelf beside the door was in her old bedroom. Are you noticing me writing N and O? And this is because in the question it says you need to write O if it was in her old bedroom and N if it was in her new bedroom. Okay? And then it says stars on the ceiling, and that was in her old bedroom, and we saw that in the text. And then the sloping ceiling we know is in her new one, because at the end of the paragraph it said, although it has a sloping ceiling, she's missing her old bedroom. So here now you can see that's correct. Yep, fantastic. Now question number 6 says, which of these would be a good title for this extract? Choose one. Would it be Living with Gran, Unpacking Books, Amelia's New Home, Amelia is Upset? What do you think it would be? Pause the screen and answer the question. All right, fantastic. I personally think it should be Amelia's New Home. It's worth 1 mark, so it's not asking you to explain. It's just saying which of these would be a good title for the extract, and you just choose one. So Amelia's New Home is correct. Fantastic. Now that we have finished all these questions here, you need to do your practice text. So in your task sheets, you were sent out the practice text of Fox Cub Danger, and you need to answer these questions that are here. What I'm going to do is read this to you now, so if you just bear with me a second.